Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Sa na we anyo
Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, folks. Samson told Labra Operator. We're here again this evening. We want to welcome all of you. Please share this video to as many brothers and sisters as possible. Please share, 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 share. And we want you, when you come in, write some stuff. Disagree with us. Come and make your point. You can write it on the, on Facebook. You can write it. Go to YouTube and we're there. We want to thank all of you again this evening for tuning in to Labra Pub Radio. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have you all. And we're going to be here again tonight to do what we do the best, to pass information on to you. We hold no high esteem on information. We say it. We expect you to verify. We expect you to disagree with us as much as possible. Always say, let's be respectful to each other. Again, we want to welcome all of you. Please share this video. Safety, safety. Lord Jesus, we want to thank you again this evening. As we come before you again, my Lord, we ask tonight that those brothers and sisters that are not in any good condition tonight, please bring them and make them whole. The brothers and sisters that are going through pain again tonight, my Lord, be the pain reliever for all of them. The brothers and sisters that are yet to come in and be whole, my Lord, please step in. I want to thank you for that. Because of you, we are here. Because of you, we will be here again tomorrow. We ask for long life. We ask for blessing. We ask for continued opportunity that you continue to give us to do what we do. And then, because of you, we will continue to do that. We want to thank you for that. My Lord, we ask again that the Republic of Liberia be blessed, that the people of the Republic of Liberia be blessed. The president of the Republic of Liberia, President Joseph Waka, be blessed. Whatever he touches in the interest of the Liberian people, yes, indeed, his hand will be blessed. We ask for that. Whichever door he knocks in the interest of the Liberian people, my Lord, open the door. Give him long life. Extend his life. You brought him in here for a specific purpose. And because of that, we are asking you to guide him. Guide him. Guide him. My Lord, we come again to you tonight and say, we ask that the host country, the United States of America, be blessed as well. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay. All right, folks. Welcome. Wonderful, wonderful show here tonight. Little Tabata here. Little Tabata before I bring in my senior analyst, of course. And before I bring in, let me start my Tabata. In fact, I will just bring him on. You will listen to my Tabata anyway. Tabata and myself, we're from the same place. Let me bring on. That's a Victor Exanko is on here tonight. Victor, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, sir.
Hey, it sounds nice being on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so just bear with me here. Let me go on with my own nyama and all kinds of things here. Folks, these are things when you do as a journalist. Sometimes we believe in them, they do well. But go on Front Page Africa. And the Front Page Africa is saying that Vice President Kuhn is doing different things than what he said he's going to do. At the end, when you read all of that, they will tell you at the conclusion, this guy that wrote this thing is a good writer, by the way. But according to him, his conclusion is that the CPP or whatever it is, the procurement process was not followed properly. Therefore, you can't jump that high like that. The vice president, I'm not too sure who I'm going to support. But you cannot conclude right now that the vice president is doing the yellow machine stuff or red machine stuff or green machine, whatever color the machine has, that he's doing it because he wants to be president. You cannot conclude that. Unacceptable by this liberal. And I think my tabata tonight is based on that. But before I go into it, let me welcome again my own brother, Mr. Zanko is here again this evening. Mr. Zanko, thank you for joining us. I got more tabata on this here. My own son, Archie Boy, is watching me from Liberia right now. Son, good evening to you as well. Mr. Zanko, good evening. Thank you for joining us again. What's on your plate this evening as we start?
Well, I mean, there are a couple of interesting things happening around the country. I think that will be of interest to our listening audience tonight. I will just happen to have stumbled across a video um, that the family of one of the gentlemen who was accused of being responsible, one of the young men who set the fire in the Capitol building, was saying that he was coerced into returning to Liberia. He escaped and went to Ghana. And the family member is saying that he is not guilty as charged. They are uh, torturing him and pressuring him to come out and say things that are not true. So we will speak a little on that and some other things as we move forward. But I'll let you take the lead.
Thank you, Mr. Zanko. Thank you very much. Let's go a little bit on this issue about the yellow machine. Yellow machine will come, yellow machine will not come. Yellow machine on your way, yellow machine not on your way. We know that the vice president is in China running after the issue of this yellow machine. What exactly do you think is going on with the yellow machine? If you care to contribute any information on this at all.
You know what? I'm like one of many Liberians that are a little puzzled and bewildered by this issue of yellow machine. I mean, there have been a lot of speculations. There have been a lot of different conversations going on the legitimacy, the illegitimacy, the procurement process, PPCC, all that kind of thing. And many things don't make head or tail in this thing. So we're watching to see what's going on. I know the vice president, as you said, is in China. I saw a video recording where he was being shown displays of different equipment by the company. So we'll look forward to see what he has to say and what the government clarification will be on this whole thing that's going on with the discrepancy.
So let me just bear with me. Let me read a few from Front Page Africa. So Vice President Jeremiah Cohn was once credited with salvaging the controversial yellow machine deal, a multi-million dollar equipment procurement that had drawn widespread criticism for all its lack of transparency and inflated price. Today, however, the mean once hailing as the deal fixer is under the increased scrutiny as fresh developments suggest he may have undermined the very credibility he was taking to thinking to restore. That's from Page Africa, folks. Okay, and according to them, they're accusing him of undermining that because they said he did not go. But here's the interesting thing, and this is what I said when you're going to do these things, and I like this writer. He's saying that the vice president is undermining this process by not having the procurement institution, those who are responsible for that, to be involved. But here's the interesting thing. He also saying, the writer is saying, that the procurement director is on the trip with his vice president. So which one is it? I mean, you can't do the vice president and you expect us to just lay down and pass on that. Unacceptable, Mr. Zanko. I think the gentleman that wrote this thing here, they're going to have to do better than that because you cannot accuse, from my perspective, accuse the vice president of undermining the entire process by not getting the procurement or people involved. But yet still, you come out on the other breath, you're telling us that the procurement officer, the chief himself, is with the vice president. So, but he's saying the fact that the man went with the vice president is not the thing. But the main thing he's complaining about, well, not complaining, he's writing about, is that the procurement institution through him are not making any kinds of comment as to whether they are there to ascertain properly providing information, what have you. They don't know his purpose of going. Well, man, if that's the case, why will you not interview the procurement officer to say why are you there for and what have you? Let's hear from you, and then we can move on to the next subject matter.
Well, maybe he didn't have the opportunity to. And I can see why it would be suspect to some, but maybe he didn't have the opportunity to. And that is something I would definitely want to know. Or I would want the author to of the article to go further. I think his name is Selma Lomax. I would definitely would like for Mr. Lomax to, again, like I talked about yesterday, dive a little deeper and kind of see if red is red or blue is blue. You know.
Thank you. One of the things I think you would do well on this show here is that you're very calm. But that, of course, comes from our mom anyway. You're very, very calm. And whereas Samson told we get excited very easily, but you're very calm. I think with this kind of mix here, it's going to be very enjoyable to our audience, folks. If you have the opportunity, please share this video to as many people as possible. So I'm saying on the side of let's go now into Daily Observer. Daily Observer, and that one I will read the article a little bit better. Daily Observer is saying that Frantic Kofa and the rest of the group will soon be indicted by the how do you call it, by what was jury, not jury, but how do you call them again? Okay, hold on 1 minute, let me,
Prosecutor,
no, no, mm, mm, mm. Grand jury,
injury.
special grand jury.
Right.
So yes, let me read that one. I will read a little bit of it, and then we go from there. This a long article, but he said members of the 55th legislature who has been charged for their alleged role in the arson attack on the Capitol last December are at the verge of being indicted by a special grand jury. A defense lawyer who has asked to remain anonymous told the Daily Observer. The move to indict the four members of the House of Representatives, including Speaker Kofa, Representative Sibo, Representative Kamara, Representative DB, uh, following the Minister of Justice requesting criminal aid, which housed the grand jury for Missouri County to convene the special grand jury for the preparation of the indictment. The charge lawmaker will be indicted very soon because all, listen to this. This is very interesting now, because all is being done to that ensure that what happened, because public interest is involved. The sources said. Public interest is key. The initiating factor for a special grand jury is the demonstration of public interest by the prosecutor attorney. This new concerning the lawmaker is coming at a time when the Montreal City Court have given what you just said the other day, giving green light for the prosecutor to indict the defendant. Let me stop there right now. So, from all indication, that they will be indicted by the grand jury. And if you go down the line, the grand jury process will say, Madam Yoe, good evening to you, my sister. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. The indictment process with a special grand jury. It won't happen unless the prosecutor, according to the story, can show the public interest in this case, because of the public interest, that indeed the grand jury should come with an indictment. Now, Mr. Zango, let me ask you this: is it not a double-edged sword for the government from your perspective? Public interest in this case is high, of
Right.
course. So if you're going to down use that public interest sentiment to try to create or bring on the special grand jury to indict these people, would that not be a double sword, double-edged sword for the government?
Not
In
really.
that the public interest might turn against them as well. Is it not possible?
I mean, the public is interested in the case. The bigger question here is, what economic value does the case bring to Liberia? That's the bigger question. There is public interest. There's been public interest in this thing since the debacle at the Capitol building, right? Some people see this as a witch hunt. Some people see it as a shaming on the part of the government in their own way. But the process, and people need to understand, when the way things are worded, the way things are written, sometimes we got to take our time and understand this. Indictment is imminent. What does that do? That gives the perception to the public that the guilt is imminent, and that is not true. The process, as I explained yesterday, was that it goes to the magistrate. The magistrate send the information over to Criminal Code A. Criminal Code A forms a grand jury. The grand jury will say, yea or nay, let's go forward with Criminal Code A and indict these people. Indictment then brings them under the jurisdiction of the court. Right now, they're not. Believe it or not, right now they're not under the jurisdiction of Criminal Code A, they're not under the jurisdiction of the city court. So that's the process. The process as it's being played out right now does not indicate guilt. This is where people are going to put on their big boy pants and go to war. The judicial system is an adversarial system. What that means when two
Adversarial to okay.
let me explain this. What that means when two teams are on the field, they are in an adversarial battle to win. At the end of the game, people shake hands and go home. In this case, the defense, the burden of proof comes on the prosecutor. They are the complainant. They are the one who can run to the court, say, oh, they put this something bad. You know, please look at this and find them guilty. So they have to bring all of the evidence, all of their strategy to the game. The defense can just sit down. Look, there's something called you have the right to shut the hell up, to remain silent, right? And that's what the guys have to do. But obviously, they're not going to do that. They're going to go ahead and try to show to the public, to the judge, to the jury that's being in panel, why they cannot be held guilty based on the charges that are being brought against them. And remember one of the things I said. Yesterday, I said the charge of arson means that you have to physically be on the site and to commit that crime. So let's see what evidence the prosecution will bring to say we have video evidence, we have this evidence that said Mr. Kofa was there, he held the bucket or he held the container or he lit the fire, or Mr. Kamara or Mr. DB or any of these other people. That's
So
that.
thank you. Let me read some of the charges they have here according
Please.
to the article. The role of each of the defendants, according to
Mhm.
Magistrate of Badger, Defendant Sibo is particularly named as a person who took the conspiracy to the effect that he recruited and manipulated a person to burn the joint chamber of the Capitol building and thereafter facilitated their escape.
Okay.
Whereas defendant Abu Kamara,
Mhm.
as one of the financier of the plot, was accused of having recruited people he referred to as actor to help in the burning of the Capitol.
Okay.
Meanwhile, prosecuting witness narrate the role of defendant J. Flantikofa as one of the financiers behind the plot. According
Mhm.
to the ruling,
Mhm.
they also accused Kofa of being aware of the burning of the Capitol building of the Capitol even before the incident, as he was part of the chat room where the plot was hatched and the ruling added. For defendant DB, the magistrate said he is said to have been aware of the plot by listening to the conversation regarding the scene, but took no action either before or after the incident, to inform the law enforcement authority, which in action define his complicity. Now, and I'm not asking you here to litigate the case here tonight,
Okay.
but I just want us to understand this here. Let's retrospect a little bit. Frantikova, former Speaker Frantikova was illegally removed from his position. He was hounded publicly. I mean, these are public record. I'm not making it up.
Okay.
He was chased out.
All right.
Other people would say. Other people would say he was overthrown. Other people would say.
All right.
These are all public record. These are all public languages that have been used to describe the situation. These are not my own words, but let me just say this. However, this is we all know. So Flandikova went to the court, and the court told the group, the illegal group, that you need to go back and start all over. If you want to do it, follow the Constitution.
All
They
right.
refused. The president and the executive, on the other hand, decided, knowing fully well that these people were illegal, decided to do business with them. However, the
All right.
president, being the executive, chief executive, was depending on the lawyer for the executive, which is the justice minister, to interpret the ruling. And the justice minister, according to the interpretation, that yes, indeed, we can do business with them. That is what the Supreme Court ruling means. So the president can be excused, to be honest with you. However, the point that I'm trying to make here is, with all of these wrangling that are going, Flatikova have to run back to the Supreme Court to seek redress. And then the Supreme Court came back and publicly rebuked and publicly dragged these people out of their position. And we saw the left hand speaker came back and put his right hand up to be legalized. Now, with everything that I just stated here, and now they're going after Flantikova for an indictment. Having a jury in Liberia that perhaps will follow the trend of what I just listed here, is a government running a risk of having a jury that most likely must sympathize with Flantikova position because you have run after him, you wanted this position. Kuhn is on record of saying the regime needed a speaker, a regime speaker. Would those kinds of statements not be utilized by Flantikova and his team? And if they do so, Mr. Zanko, would they be out of place? Talk to me, my brother.
Any good lawyer, I expect that the legal representatives for the defense will have to use that, or they may use that. Any good lawyer defending your client will be derelict in their duty if they do not attach these different things. I mean, it is clear as day. We all saw it. We all saw it, but it is what it is. And I like what the so-called majority bloc used to say. It was a political issue, was not a legal issue. Well, guess what? This one is a legal issue. It's not a political issue. So you're right. There's always a risk when you go before a judge or you go before a jury. You never know what the outcome is going to be. Now, what you read to me a few moments ago sounds like conspiracy to me. It doesn't sound like arson. So have they changed their charge? They have a right to. But I would love to see the official indictment, and I will try to get my hands on it, and see where all of these charges stand and what they're being charged with. But if you charging somebody because you say, "Oh my man, you hear the guy say you don't come report it to us, so we'll charge you," isn't that what it said? Isn't
Yes,
that what you read?
yes,
Oh my, we found out that the man what the financier. Okay, prove how the man financed the case. I mean the act. And that's why I say the prosecutor's gonna have to come down with the evidence. I mean, this is not children's play, man. You're talking about taking people's freedom away from them. This is not
So,
children's
so,
play.
so this is not children play. But let me ask you this question, and
Mhm.
then, folks, if you're out there, I sent the link out already. You guys supposed to come tonight for us to discuss the Minnesota issue. It's been over almost 30 minutes now. People are not here yet, and when you come, we're gonna close this show at 10 o'clock exact time. So we're not gonna go anything beyond that tonight. Well, I've already made my mind up that whenever I'm hosting, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock, no more, no less. So if you can't come in right now for us to have this wonderful, because it was when Sister brought it up last night. It was very emotionally charged, and I thought perhaps we will come out and have this conversation tonight. But I sent a link out already, so the link out there. If you want to join us, please do so. But bear in mind, 10 o'clock, we're out of here. So let me ask you this, Victor. Let me ask you this: the big question, the elephant in the room here.
Mhm.
You're not a law practitioner by no stretch, but you are an educated person. You read a lot. You've been researching a lot of stuff, a lot of cases, and what have you. So I'm not too sure if I was to be charged in total that I can get you as my lawyer, but that's a different
Hey,
case.
you need to hire Jonathan Massacre. He will help you.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I've been hearing this guy name. I hope to interview him here someday, gentlemen.
We'll
Because a lot
see.
of people say he's a very good lawyer. So
Right.
I really would like to have him on here someday. But let me go back on his very serious. Let me ask you this: it's Liberia and Liberians. Are they to the point right now, sophistication wise, to say yes? Let's look at this case from just purely from a legal standpoint. Would they understand the layperson in the street if these people were found not guilty? Would they understand that? Or it's going to be one of those. They say, "Oh, but the man is a rich man. That's why they let him go." How do we deal with those kinds of conversations, Mister Zanko?
Look, man, with democracy come capitalism, right? In the area of capitalism, you also have somebody rich and somebody poor. That's the nature of the game. So I'm not aware of the man financial strength, his wealth. I mean, you know, so I can speak to that. But what I do know is that Liberians are intelligent set of people. Not every one of them have what we call book sense, but they're smart. They're smart enough to be able to discern right from wrong. I mean, we have history where people have stood up and stood out and made their voices heard. We hear people all the time talking about going for demonstration, march in the street, July 17th, or whatever different date they can come up with. So there is an element of sophistication in the Liberian society. But whether the society has access to untainted information, whether they have access to unbiased analysis like we're doing here, um, that is the space that needs to be filled, and I think that's what we provide over here. So I think yes, the information is out there. Yes, people will get involved. People become emotionally charged, but at the end of the day, people need to learn to be calm and listen. As the story I gave you to about yesterday, open the pages of the book and see where the value is, not just what the top of the book. So S or so G go and say you've read the book. Listen to what Samson to has to say here. Listen to what the members of the panel this group has to say, and you'll get a fair, unbiased assessment or being provided to you on the reality of what's happening with this case and other issues around the country.
Let me push you a little bit on this as well. Then. Let's take it up to from the street of Monrovia to the
Mhm.
courtroom of the Republic of Liberia.
Right.
Is the judiciary system sophisticated enough to provide true transparency as a case move forward, or is that something that people have to worry about to say one way or the other the case is not going to be balanced? Not because there's no evidence or not because the evidence are good, but because simply because those who are involved in adjudicating the case cannot be trusted. So talk to me on this here. Let me bring in Sissy Goya here, please.
No,
Talk to me on this.
trust is something that has to be earned. You were just talking earlier about the vice president trade, about the yellow machine, all that kind of thing. So has this government earned the full trust of the people? No. So at this point, and I made a point earlier, I said, how does this case affect us economically? That is the most important thing. If the international community or external investors see that the judiciary of the Republic of Liberia is not fair, they're very biased, very partial. Would you want to bring your money into a place like that where you could lose it tomorrow? No. So this is the time for the judiciary to show their independence. This is the time for the judiciary to show that, look, regardless of influences that may come our way, we will follow the law, we will follow the evidence, and we'll make the best decision going forward. Remember, there was a time when we heard that during the request for bit of information, there was delay in that bit of information coming out. And there were a lot of talks around the town, in the diaspora and at home, that the executive were trying to influence that. But the judiciary stood firm and said, if that is true, no. Because the judiciary knew through the Supreme Court that their word that they had put out in December had been misused, misinterpreted, and so they needed to use that opportunity to clarify it, to simplify it. And I expect that to go down that same vein and to do what is right. Because as you said, this is a public interest case. This is a globally watched case. They got to come with an A game and to be trying to play what we call like Krokoji.
Thank you, Mr.
Yes, how
Zango.
you doing?
Let me welcome my own brother, Sissy Goya. Sissy, well, the conversations we're having right now is a placeholder. The main topic tonight is what you're going to introduce to us, and we'll follow your lead on that. And the reason why I'm making you the lead on this here is that because, like I said last night, many of you young people in Minnesota specifically that are engaged with the American politicians, not to enrich yourself, but that they are Liberian politicians, whenever the opportunity comes up, that you will lead them to follow the example of good governance system. And by you putting yourself up there, you are being exposed as well. And these are some of the exposes stuff that I keep saying here. You have stay in front of people and they follow you. You take them to the hall of power in America, strictly because the people know who you are. And they didn't. The white people didn't come from Vanyama with you. They're here based. They know you based on your character, and that character process for me is very important. You're not a rich guy. If you're a rich guy, then up here will be more than what we have now. So you're not a rich guy, but your character is much more important. And you put your character suit on and hold our brothers and sisters, the Liberian politicians, say, let's go. Come with me. And you take them to this power, hall of power in this place so that they will learn and get something. And because of that, I'm making you the lead here tonight on this here. So last night, yeah, it's not so much of a complaint, and I'm not going to call it disappointment either, but it was recognizing that our folk that have met with these people, have gone over there, are not coming through the way that you thought they should have. And because of that, you are calling that out, not necessarily to shame them, but to see if there's an error that is coming, if they can rectify that quickly as soon as possible. Let's hear from you, Sissy. Thank you.
Yeah, it's nice being on again, my papa. Hey, my brother Zongo, nice seeing you again. And I want to begin by saying I appreciate the framing that Azango put on it when we were leaving. It's allowed me to go back and do some deep reflection. But for me, it was about accountability. And, just for premise for people who are new to us, is ever since I've been in Minnesota, my work here has been about social justice, about justice for our community and how we can be seen So from everything from teaching in the schools here to working on curriculum that reflects who we are, making sure that our kids don't go to school and get bullied, making sure that even during the COVID, that the state of Minnesota was giving grants for folks to buy palm butter and plantain and real oil to give to our people, in the food shelves, food that are culturally sensitive. So when Liberians come here to the United States, most of the consequential politicians in Liberia usually will visit Minnesota. Minnesota is, according to the last data we saw available, has the largest collection of Liberians outside of Africa. It's in Minnesota. And so when our people come here, we take pride in them. And I want to preface this by saying this is not about any one political party. It's not about any one political party in America. It's not about any one political party in Liberia. So I want to really remove that part from that, so people don't think it's a MAGA Republican Trump versus. No, it's not even that thing right now. What bothered my soul was that from the Unity Party, when President Bwaka was VP, he has his family here, his nieces, his in-laws were here. He comes to Minnesota, he stays here. We've raised money here for his campaign, both campaigns, the one he lost to President Weah and the most recent one that he won. Similarly with Alexander Benedict Cummings. He had a very strong base here. People have raised money here for him, and they have hosted political events here. George Minor Weah and the CDC, Tiawan Gonglo and the Liberty Party, and the Liberian People's Party. And most recently, the CMC was planning on hosting, Musa Bedede's party was planning on hosting an event here. And so Minnesota is a hub. Here is where I got a little bit emotional. When things of such happens, even if, let's assume, we ain't getting farther, but that in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, when you say Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, most people, the first thing that comes to their mind, that Liberian people say, I play Liberian poetry. There was a shelter in place for about 24 hours. Shelter in place. Like for African Liberian, like curfew kind of thing. Because they were looking for this guy that was on the loose. People who have lived through wars in Liberia understand what that means when you get a text message in the morning from the state saying you should shelter in place, lock your doors, don't lock your cars, don't answer your door, and you are seeing SWAT officers, over 24 different SWAT teams walking around patrolling neighborhood with armored vehicles, dressed in military gear. That in itself is re-traumatizing. For people to sit, our people who have come here, who have benefited, who know what Minnesota is, we're taking them to the state capitals, and a lot of them met these particular people that were victims of the shooting. Yeah, don't call them, you don't know them. Let's put that one side. But Liberians who fundraise for you here. Liberians who live here that have been re-traumatized. A simple statement. Oh, we are thinking about our people in Minnesota. May God be with you all. It is not political. I'm not calling anybody to come and condemn any Trump or whatever. It's just recognize that you got people living here. So I started out with the CMC because they were planning on having an event here. Today, if you check my Facebook page, I call out Tiawan Gonglo because he's my guy. And if I'm going to go after people, I'm going to go after the guy that I supported in the elections before I can even call anybody. So that was the point I was coming from. Is like people treat us in the diaspora like we are under the pocketbook. Like nothing else about us matters beyond our financial resources. And I appreciate you, my brother Zongo, yesterday for really reframing me because I expected a lot more. But after you said what you said last night, I've been thinking about it and just reflecting. I'm like, yeah, he had a point. I might not agree that I should be treated that way. Is that fair? No, but you do have a point. So that is where I was coming from, and that is where I want. That's how I want to frame this conversation. It's not about the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. It's not about President Trump and MAGA. It's not about President Weir, the CDC or Unity Party. It's just this is where all of you come when you're running for election. All of you are here. Just recently, Kogare was there for a Unico inauguration right in Minnesota, and everybody is mute. I said to say Liberians don't live here. So I will stop there for now. But that was the source of what you saw coming out yesterday. I was really emotional because for me it's personal. I know these two people personally, but besides that, also that I have opened doors to a lot of politicians, to these people. Right? Brooklyn Center it's a sister city to Kakata. Brooklyn Park, the fight, the guy that did a fire investigation came from Brooklyn Park. With Brooklyn Park as a city have donated police uniforms and police vehicles to Liberal National Police. Right? So I mean, just human decency was the reason I was all frustrated yesterday.
I see. So, Victor, before I come to you, let me go back to Sisse on this. Sisse, point well taken, but let me question this in a form of giving the government and every other Liberian politician that have gone through this process, because many of them will come here in the United States. Let me give them a little latitude. Do you think that perhaps they have channeled their uh, condolences, whatever they have for the people of Minnesota, that they have channeled it through the proper Liberian representative, which is having to be the Liberian embassy in Washington, D.C., and perhaps they're hoping that the people in Washington, D.C. will reach out to Liberian diaspora in Minnesota. You think, is that what's going on, or do you think something else?
I don't know. And if that is the case, then somebody needs to hold somebody accountable. And for me, even if the government were to speak through the ambassador, the fact that a lot of these people got personal connections here, that's the point I'm trying to make here. Right? A lot of them have personal connections here. It's not like they don't know they've been here. We've carried them around. Government like us through the say, let's assume through the ambassador, maybe the ambassador reached out to the governor here, and the ambassador has spoken to the city mayor, and fine, they've done that. How do I feel as a person, me, Sisi Goya, who has gone to fundraiser for almost every political party in the city and donated money to them, who, as a vice chair of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota, OLM, have had to go to the state capitol on many occasions carrying our leaders when they come to open doors and make introductions, even ones that I don't agree with their political ideology, but the fact that their Liberians will go. Right? So what has kept them? The same way they can reach to us when they're coming here and they need support, they need everything. What has kept them from going through that same channel to reach to us?
Okay. All right. Again, folks, Samson to Labrador Radio. Our main topic tonight is the sad incident in Minnesota, and that has also affected our brothers and sisters over there, because when they say shelter in place, and I can say there are some Liberians over there who are just as bad as I am, procrastinators, and most likely before that shelter in place rule comes to play, they don't even have food, and so they couldn't go out, and then they panicking. Oh my God, this is the same thing we have. I went through in Monroe. I forgot to go down and guess, those kinds of, even if it's just few hours, but the process itself is very, for me, is very traumatizing. But let me come to you, Mr. Zango.
Yeah,
Uh,
something I know. Let me see this. Let me kind of jump to this quickly. What Sissy is talking about. I don't understand what he's saying. Look, Sissy is simply saying, and let me say the Liberian way. He's simply saying that our leaders need to be Liberian leaders. That's it. You don't need an official response. You need to be able to come when you hear somebody die, you heard somebody die from somebody's family. You don't say we're waiting for official response. You go, you say, hey, you're normal. Am I wrong, my brother? That's what they're looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Pick up the phone, call the man. Even if you don't have the contact to any official American official in Minnesota, go to your contact. My brother will hear the thing. Sorry, you do not need an official a response from the embassy, from the government of the Republic of Liberia. That's what the brother is saying. That is our Liberian way. That is our Liberian way. You know, and I mean, it's shameful. It is disgraceful that it takes this brother to come on a global platform like this to shame some of our so-called leaders to come and do what they're supposed to do. But I guarantee tomorrow they'll come and say, oh, my man, no, my man. Oh, they know how to do that one when I want for money. Oh, begin, you know. But I forget that thing. You know? But the reality is the reality. So if we don't shame them here, hopefully some other platform will shame them, and they will be able to reach out to him and say, what can I do? You hear all the time, you are a senator, you're a member of the House of Representatives, you have an official capacity. You can write official letters and send it. Nowadays with technology, you can scan it, email it. What's wrong with that? You know, by the way, that's my 2 cents, my brother.
Thank you. I have with me here, and I'm going to go through this sometimes, some documents during the Liberian civil crisis, some documents during the Liberian civil crisis where senators were writing to represent the interests of Liberia for Liberians that live in their city, in their state. Walter Mondale will write. What's his name? Jack Reed will write.
Right.
Other major political leaders will write the president, the White House, in the interest of like. And I have those documents here, you know, and it is the same thing here. Uh, if the like of Sissy Goyer do not go to Minnesota. He's an educated person. He's working, making money. Just sit down. Liberian interests will not be at a higher level. So that when the like of Sissegoy and the brothers and sisters in Minnesota that are doing these things, not so much to benefit themselves, I stated that earlier, but to also put Liberia on the map. So that we, Liberians, as greedy and as corrupt as we are, so that if we have issue in Liberia, these same brothers would then go to these people that they have already have connection with. They say, Chief, something happened in Liberia. Can you guys help? Collectively, they will be able to move the ball. But if you are not able, from my perspective, as a representative, as a senator, what's wrong with the light? Or that Chinese light now, that real Chinese light here now? You who's supposed to be talking for people. Why can you know these young people? You know their connection. Why can't you guys, the Senate, the entire Senate of the Republic of Liberia, put something together, present it? If you write something and put it in the Washington Post, they will publish it because it's coming from a country sympathizing with people of Minnesota. It makes these young Liberians that are connecting themselves with these American politicians make their feet. They contribute and make their feet big. But these are not something our brothers and sisters think about. That also put you back into the behavior here is what they have in the actual developmental agenda. They don't care unless in their interest. I'll give you an example. The yellow machine, major, I won't call their name, but major senators ran to public work. If you bring the yellow machine, you know where will put our people there out of work? If you bring the yellow machine, our brothers and sisters that and they themselves, now mind you, have contract a company, and they're arguing that if the yellow machine comes, it will put their company out of business. Can you imagine? And these are the people we're talking about here today. So again, Sese, for me, I think you're quite right to say that not with anger, but they will come back again. They will come back again. I'll give you another story, a true story.
They
I'm not
always
going to
come
call
back.
name. True story. I'm not going to call name. There's a senator, sitting senator, came from Liberia, came here in Sacramento. And because on my show here, I talk about the free, well, not necessarily free, but cheap solar panel. So he asked me to take him there. So I took him there. He wanted to purchase solar panel. So him and the guy, I was there in the room, they started talking. So the solar panel business there in Grass Valley, which is about an hour and a half from here. And the way the solar panel business happened with this guy, he has a big yard. But what happened is people build their houses and they put solar panel up there. Okay. And before the people move in, they say, oh, we don't like this other company, we want something else. They have to remove it. When they remove it, they're not putting the bike in the shell. They give it to this guy at a cheaper price to give to homeless, not homeless, but poor people and poor country. So we were able to contact him. So I took him there. And this senator and this guy came up with an agreement. He was going to buy $80,000 worth of solar panel. And this guy, let me bring in Mr. So, who's supposed to bring you in? You see, when you do the kind of thing, I got to talk.
Mr. Lazango, how are you?
How
Thank
you
you.
doing, my
We'll
brother?
meet you. We will meet you until I finish talking, Mr. So. Thank you very much. That's Mr. Robert. That's the That's the Alfonso So that I've been telling you about. That's him right there.
I like the fact he says they're on Cash App.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. We're still running a campaign for donation for the show.
Oh,
Anyway, yes.
okay.
So, but anyhow, this senator, I took he made a deal with this guy for $80,000 worth of panel.
Right.
The guy said, because of that, I don't want you to give me 80,000 because the senator showed his credential. And the
Right.
senator was able to show that he has done some humanitarian work in Liberia. So the
Right.
guy cut it from 80,000 to $30,000, the same amount. Okay. The senator now, everything went, and the guy said, you know what? I'm not going to give you what is in a yard. I will take you to Oakland and you will get brand new one for the same price because of the kinds of work you're doing. The senator left from here, went to Liberia. You think he will call the guy again? So you know what the guy did to me and my brother? He cut us off
Of course, he locked you down.
Yeah.
until quite recently when he realized that it wasn't our fault. So we're doing business with him again. We're still in the solar panel business. But I'm just bringing this. But because they behave like that, not because of tomorrow, they think of today. And Sissy Goya, I just want to let you know that we're all in it for you guys. Continue to do the work you're doing. You can't that the people say you can't mind the noise in the market and then you say I'm not going to sell again. Continue to advocate for our people, and God will continue to bless you, and your work will be recognized as usual all over. And we appreciate you and the other brothers that continue to do this thing for our brothers and sisters in Minnesota. In fact, if somebody gets in trouble, when young people get in trouble in Minnesota, most likely their parent will first of all run to you. And then you say, okay, let me see who I can talk to. And you call around. Not so much of you trying to circumvent the law, but at least get some information on what is really happening so that their parent will be informed. And that is the role you guys are playing.
But one thing, and you just made a point, and I'll just say one thing, then we get past this. But a lot of our people don't know how to navigate the American system, legal, political, or educational. And a lot of the time when they get stuck, they call, because I'd rather talk to somebody who sound like me, who understand it. I can remember I did my nature, I got the other problem, I got the problem. What do you think we work through it? That is an easy thing, right? Because we're all in here, we're all immigrants here, we're all inside together, right? The low place where I know something about it, help people with that. But where I'm struggling, Mr. Tour, is that if it was personal for these people calling me back and say, "Oh, my man, we're coming to Minnesota next week. Can we hang out to your crib?" That's an absolute no. Like, no, you don't value me. No, I'm not seeing you. You come, I'm not seeing you. But when they come in the name of the government and you can give them access to resources that benefit our people, then it becomes difficult for you to take their lack of action and visit that upon the common people that are supposed to benefit. That is the catch-22 that some of us are struggling with. And I know some people started coming at me already and say, oh, why the people got to do all of that? Let me just put two things in the room, and then I'll be quiet. When the thunderstorms in 2020 killed about 30 people in the United States, President George Weah officially, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, issued statement in condolence and prayers with the American people. When the 2017 shooting happened in Florida at Stoneman Douglas at the high school, where those 17 kids were killed, President Weah, again through the foreign ministry, reached out and sympathized. So we can do that for, in America. It's not something that is strange. We know how to reach out and sympathize. But yeah, man, they play well with the LeBron Paul Weston. When things that happened there, we sleeping. We so worried about the cow, 2 cow, 5 cow, then they take our brain away. We can't think about old people. For me, that is the level at which I was at yesterday. But it's always good to have other people on this platform. Mr. Azongo, I really appreciate your perspective yesterday. It was harsh, but I needed that harsh reality because that sets me to kind of understand sometimes, the way our people operate when they look at us here in the diaspora.
But let it not be, Mr. Azango, let it not be construed as low-fast solidarity here. I beg you. Yeah, but I can't do that one. It's not going to happen on this platform.
No. Sometimes in politics, you gotta go past the rhetoric. You gotta go past the fanfare and just go between the eyes and say the reality. Say the truth.
Let me welcome the CEO himself, Mr. So, is here with us tonight. I'm not too sure what would be his reason, but let's find out. Mr. So, what's on your plate? That is, if you even have a plate.
Look, Mr. Zango, good to have you for the past few days. Been monitoring you, like, wow. He afraid because I'm here. And, I don't hide secret. This guy, permit means, without your consent, the title I already put there is amazing. He called you and he started to complain about you.
Yeah, I'm
surprised. I'm surprised he giving say all of the kudos. Liberal progressive complain about you that I thought my own man, you're going to be so, but look at he another firebrand. I don't think I'm going to bring him on this show again. I'll say you lie. He will come. He will come. So hopefully you stay.
You know politics beyond rhetoric, right?
I'm not sure why he's trying to water up who says here and says dive into him. I mean, how for whatever reason he tries to appease people. He doesn't want people to feel bad. He will take the one, put you in the glass. But that's what he does here. But liberal, we are here. You think you brought Mr. Zango that you think you're gonna the way you and Jerry back on. You're doing the liberal way here for people to praise and worship. That's not how you're going to go. Like, I'm sorry, you are disappointed, and it's just off your hand now. He's here to stay. But good to have you here. I'm here. Look, with respect to Sisi, I listened to that yesterday. To get a parable, I want to throw it in crown this evening here to be like the liberal progressive. We always close our own drinking pipe. We always muddy our own drinking water. This is the lack of leadership. These people, they do not have close people to them to advise them. On the feed and no a. How much I want to take you? And our man, the chief conspirator of the whole thing that we have in Koga, I believe they say he was in Minnesota there. If I'm not even mistaken, maybe this guy talking for lunch. Come on, for God's sake. And up to this time, are the other people, other Liberian community, are they issue any statement?
Yeah,
you lying, all of those people?
Yeah, all them issue official statement.
Okay, but our officials, they are here, the Minnesota, the Rhode Island, the Philadelphia. These people are in and out. You don't necessarily have to know these people. This is another part of some sort of democracy being on attack. People doing this kind of stuff here. How much it want to take you? Just do a kind of, it can be a little tweet and just express some sort of remorse as a human being. But they will never do it. They only want something when they want something, they come, they be friendly, they be nice to you. When you get it, they go back. That's it. And that's the same thing Samson was talking. And so we're in there for long. I'm excited that you are here, but I want to tell you, do not say he's you
Mr.
can't even
So,
rely
speak
on
your
him.
own, talk your own. Don't worry about what happened. Everything else I told you that liquor talk. You know that one there.
Oh,
But
you
why
see
you
it?
keep picking for me in the first place? I hear saying that quietly.
No, I just telling Mr. Zango not to even rely on you because you two, you are part of the liberal allies.
He's
So
a he's a northern democratic political person. You can't depend on them.
yeah,
It's a
but everywhere we
northern,
hear and we
northern
hear, let's get a
liberals.
conversation rolling.
But anyhow, Mr. Victor Exanko again, welcome, and we hope you will stay here and have conversation with us here. But let me ask you, Mr. So, is there anything on your plate this evening
I just
that
been
you
eating.
kept? Huh?
I just been
See that?
eating.
You want me to talk about
Well,
that
it's quite
one?
interesting. There are a couple of things that are happening, multiple things going on at the same time, and I hope you guys watching it.
Uh,
Um, the conversation that is being kept, the proliferations, in fact, not proliferate because it's media outlet being as being around, but to see how now the state broadcasting corporation, senior government officials, agency directors, they are more or less the awareness is supposed to create government agenda, government visions, what government wants to do. They are all transitioned to an outlet that more or less was an opposition. Now the campaign is over. President Boyka is the president. But go on, class reloaded, class restart, class in section. You have ministers, you have directors, you have public corporations, managing directors. When they have their own state broadcasting corporation, that have annex, that have little play or other network in the various outside of Morovia, in the counties that relay government's agenda. But guess what? They are all moved. They are all being resettled on class reloaded. And some of the things they talk, I I wonder what is going on. So how is the government agenda? Because when you go there, you abandon the state broadcasting corporations that is owned and run by national government. Instead of you being there, instead of you validating the essence of that state corporation to get the message to the
But
citizen,
let me ask you
government,
this. Let me ask you this, Mr. So. Must you be on ELBC anyhow for the government how do you call it, information to be heard by the Liberian people? Can you not also go on other platform and still give the information about the Liberian government, what the government is doing, anything positive, whatever? Can you not do it from other platforms? Must you do it from
that's that's
the
that's
state
that's not
platform
what I'm
anyhow?
saying. That's not my point. My general point here, argument here, the state broadcasting corporations is the institutions responsible that even other cable, major other outside cable wire news outlets, they can even get information. So when you have like the Minister of Information, you have the Minister of Internal Affairs, Urban, which is a very, very powerful minister, public corporations, they are going to an outlet that was once at opposition. The work of that outlet was to promote the agenda. Then he was the opposition, now President Boyka. He's the president. So you can have all your talking heads, you can have your surrogate there to do all of the dirty work, but you can't have a full government, people, directors, ministers, all there now, and like are they running campaigns? So then what becomes the ordinary person who doesn't have a data that can be in Morovia to listen to class reloaded? But at least ERBC, you have the Speed FM, even though they have other FMs that do the relay. But what I'm saying, this is how our state broadcasting corporation is not being valued, it's not being treated properly. The state carrying cell phone like us to be doing international to broadcast. When they go visit other countries, they see these modern cameras and other because they not value their own thing, and that's how they treat it. That's my point. I mean,
Thank you.
that's my
Thank you.
point.
Let me go to Sis. Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you very much. And like I said, your conservative idea they're not going to be able to take root here tonight because the liberal is here as usual to be a counterweight. I know exactly where you're going with this. This president is the leader of the Republic of Liberia. This president is doing a wonderful job, and the information, whatever information they have that is good from the government, any platform they want to utilize, they can do
Oh,
so. I do agree with you though that the government owned mouthpiece, media mouthpiece, should be utilized as much as possible. But that does not negate the fact that they have the ability to go anywhere and express what good the government do. Let me go to Sissy. Sissy, let me come to you, my brother.
But sister,
Uh,
I mean, I'm sorry about something. You can't just gloss over what the man just said, though.
what you say?
The man is referring to investment.
They're
He,
not, they're
he,
not,
he,
they're not,
Mr.
they're not,
Zongo,
they're not, what kind of,
no, but
they're not how we do it here.
my man, you
Please,
see
you
that
come
that
in.
you know what you sound like right now? Eh? My
Uh,
man, you want to bring an American business here?
yeah,
But
but
no, the man is
that,
saying the government need to invest in itself. How many times you go, you see
This is
news
the problem I
forward.
have with this guy. Two
How
four
many times
seven
you see
here, Mr.
foreign
Zango.
due
You
or
bring it
laptop
to your
come
stuff.
around and say, we are reporting from
don't let
Japan right
Mr.
now.
So use your mother to a pepper. Zongo. I make it eat plenty half pepper,
That's
half
all
an
right.
arrow.
The man is near a studio of Booker T watching now right now. Drop your
You know,
body down where you are.
these guys they don't like me on this platform. For every time I come here, Samson told his group they panic because I'm not part of the Zion Grove or whatever or choir. The man is a citizen of Lofa County now, so anything you say, he doesn't. If it doesn't favor you, forget it. But I mean, that's the problem that I have, and I hope you
so
will stay here with me
thank
because
you,
all of the
thank
other
you.
people that came here, they have betrayed they have betrayed.
Yeah, that's
They
fine. Whatever. But let me
You
go.
know,
Let me go to Sister, as I was saying, Mr. Zanko. Thank you very much. But yeah, what that different topic that I know where he went with it.
but
We
where,
been on
but,
the route
but
before.
enlighten me. Where is he going with?
He going to say the president and the government are not doing something good. How are you coming where?
And
Yeah,
you
no,
coming with the president is the most wonderful person, Jesus Christ.
that's the
So
case.
where I come in the middle. Let's divide the baby.
No, baby, can't.
Wow.
What?
I, I said,
But Clarence David, I don't see you tonight. What happened? What? Yeah, I think. But let me go. Let me go to Cece quickly before this thing go on the south end of my conversation here tonight. Cece, let me come to you. Um, we heard recently the president has suspended this guy from what is it, TT, whatever the telecommunication group,
You're LTF.
yeah.
LTA,
Right.
which is a good thing. Other people are saying that the government should need not to be praised because they took too long. Now, Sissy Goyer, would you have preferred the president hear the new fire right away, or would you have preferred the president take his time and make sure that the investigation carried out properly? Because these people are also Liberians. We don't want to come in haste and try to malign people's character and try to somehow destroy people's character in the process because we are government. And I'm saying to many of my brothers and sisters that indeed, yes, we agree the president is slow, but he's slow with purpose. Let me hear from you, sister, on this one, please.
Yeah. So before we jump over Mr. So, let me go back to what Mr. So was saying. Mr. So, what these guys are doing, I agree with you. They are treating LBS just how they can treat JFK. JFK there, they were moving there and don't treat it well. And go to Catholic Hospital for treatment
Bring him back. He doesn't want to hear what you're saying. That why
and for their checkups. It's
Come
the
back.
same thing they do to our public schools. They underfund our public schools and send all their children to the private schools. And so you have an ERBS, it's almost like the U.S. Agency for Global Media, right? So you got PBS, which is the equivalent TV station we're funding it. If you are leaving all of that and going to sit on another platform to be an analyst, it's not like you appear once and you left. And then you appear on another place, you left. Okay, fine. You're making the rounds, right? To clarify certain things. But you cannot, everybody's advertising this one network. It's almost like a quasi-government-owned social media platform. Because all of the people in charge of the propaganda of the government, they're advertising that. And let's just say this in the space, they had ERBC, we were on there. When they realized that we were not aligning every day, or for me, I was not touching their water every day, they told one day from us. The next time they told 2 days, when they job then kick us on the platform. Then they kick us on the platform, then they can sit on there.
Wait. So you're not there again?
Oh, the people there, the people that were hosting, the local staff that were hosting, they told them from the hosting from the moderation position. So they didn't just sweep also, they swept the local staff that were hosting it up. Right? So I think if the ERBC is going to have a budget and government gives you money for that, you should utilize that for that. Don't have a budget for this and then everybody go sit down somewhere. It's fine, the classroom, reloaded, and then the co-spoon on the other side, and then the other man will say the close argument before you open fund. We can have all of those craziness, but the government should not be picking and advertising one media institution as the place to go. Now, having said that, to your question about the president, look, I'd rather you be meticulous and you be careful, you do an investigation, and you roll it out. I agree. But can we also hasten that? And can we also see one of these things come to a logical conclusion? We accuse people. We have documents. The president suspend you. We know you're not coming back no more because we can look at the data and see when the president suspends you at the end of it. So he suspends you. You're not coming back anymore. But where is the prosecution? Where where do we have these people paying back? So finding somebody violating the law or public trust is fine. Suspending them pending investigation is also wonderful. That's the most responsible thing you can do, is suspend pending investigation. But if you don't bring them back and you can't end the investigation, it's almost like what this government is doing is their equivalence of what George Weah was doing when you were just breaking ground everywhere and not putting anything that will happen in the earthquake in Liberia. Now they just suspending people investigation, we can't get any logical conclusion. For me, I think that's a problem.
Thank you. Let me come to you, Mr. Zango, with a specific question. With all of these things that we've been discussing so far tonight, can you try to connect that with your usual question? How do we benefit as a country from all of these things that economically? What are the benefit for us, or if not, then what are the downfall for us as all of these things are going, even though we say the government is doing right and what have you, but other international partners are watching the way these things are carried on. How does it affect us, Mr. Zango?
Well, here's the thing. I think he says it makes a good point, and I was going to interject here. When you say suspended pending investigation, so you didn't investigate before you suspended the person? So on what grounds did you suspend the person? On what grounds? It seems to me you would have done that so that if you found that the person is liable, the person work at your pleasure, terminate the person. It doesn't mean you cannot transfer over to the prosecutors, whether it's LACC or is Justice Ministry, depending on the crime, and let them prosecute. But why are you suspending pending investigation? Right? But you're right. Come to the bigger picture here. The world is watching. Right? The world is watching. And if things seem to be going the way they're going right now for the next 5 years, Lord help us. Things are not going to improve. Investors not going to come in. We'll keep giving 10,000 work permits to people who will come on the ground and take Liberian people jobs. I mean, that's another topic we can get into. But you're not going to have the economic viability, the economic growth, the economic power that you need if you continue the way. And I didn't support this gentleman, but there's one thing I agree with him with. If you keep on doing the same thing the same way, what result you expect? You're not going to get a different result. And so I think we all know at this point the government is not one man. The government is a collective of people. And so those who are the advisors around the principle have to be looked at. Whether you're a legal advisor, economic advisor, whatever your title is, you have to be looked at. If you cannot perform based on your job description, shake hands, you can still be friends tomorrow, but you need to move on. But it does have a negative impact on our economic growth. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. That is absolutely what this is all about.
Thank you,
You know,
Mr. So. Let me come to you, and then we'll go on to Mr. Sisi. Rescue Two is here, my folks. Rescue Two is here tonight. Thank you, Rescue Two, for joining us, Mr. So. Let me come to you. I think Sisi Goyer and Mr. Zanko are singing them. Whatever they say is the music to your ear. That's fine. I don't mind that. I can defend whatever I have to defend here. But let me ask you this, Mr. So, on a very serious note. As these things continue to happen over and over, and whereas Liberians are still struggling to make ends meet, we as Liberians are still yet to get to certain position. And many of us that are in the diaspora can see that these things are not that difficult to do if we just work together. So what I want you to help me with here, let's see if we can start putting some solution on the table here tonight. If you were to be asked by this government, which if they do, I will resign from it. Oh, I'm not a member of the government. I mean, if they do, we'll talk about different things. What will be some of the suggestions that you would make for this government so that they will be successful? And when they're successful, Liberia will be successful. Let's hear from you.
that's for me.
No, Mr. So, the CEO.
I hope you can hear from me adequately until you can be very conclusive and precise. The thing happening over and over. And this is where you are because you just do not want to be precise. You want to leave the audience wondering what we are talking about. So I will appreciate if you can be a little specific. I don't want to be the one adding throw word in your mouth. You know the directions of your questions. You tell me what is
Okay.
lacking, and then we can find a solution.
We have the yellow machine issue and not straightened yet. We have the president suspending somebody pending investigation. It's still going on. You have other corrupt behavior that are still happening. You yourself brought in about this issue where the government, from your perspective, is failing to promote itself and invest into its own entity. How can those be rectified so that we will be able to be on a good page?
It takes courage and the very good governance we are talking about. And we talk on these things here before, but sometimes when we say you and your reverend, you always say at least someone is being suspended. The last time they never suspend people. This is how you guys raise your own alligator. And eventually it goes into the belly of the alligator. And that's what she said. And that's the point we are making here. It's the same thing with this whole ERBC and stuff like that. And it's not just one institution. The health institution is not good. The education is not good. I mean, just lot going on. When they're sick, they go to Ghana, they go to Dubai, they go to India, but when they die, then they bring their body. So we are the dump site. How many of our people, how many typical Liberians can afford to leave Ghana to even go to Cote d'Ivoire to seek medical attention? They don't. So, sometimes I wonder, are we the problem or who is actually the problem of all of these things? Because people will come with a notion when they come into the thing that happened the last day will not happen, will not do this. Yes, that's for spending. But that's what we are saying. Now, We know here, administration everywhere, if there's any issue, if you are placed on administrative hold, whatever at the end of the day, whether that 1 month, 2 month, whatever time, we will get to know. But you suspend people, they don't come back. We don't know whether they were guilty of the act. We don't send them to court. No action is taken. If they did what they did is wrong, if they took government money, it's their leave with them. And at the end of the day, next government come, these people are rewarded, they give them another position. So then who are we? Where are we going? In order to get these things going, I hope the president, and that's one of the things that CDC people struggle with. They want to do 55 things at the same time because they want to appease, they want to get public sentiment. Oh, they want coming happen. By the time they finish digging one hole, the sisters said, then they go on the other side, whole day they're breaking ground. We're so blessed that at this time, erosion and other things are not happening in our country. Other than that, water, sea, we're feeling carrying on. So government, you must be strategic. Or any other person, you must be strategic. Conclude whatever project, whatever initiative, let it be comprehensive. Do it and finish it. But when you start grabbing here and there, one day you go to Dubai, they take you to the other Chinese place, you'll see this one, you'll come. I mean, be focused. Be focused. Sort of centralize or maybe, come with a priority that you want to set.
Thank you.
The first year, the 2 year. Let's see what you see. He cutting me on now because he doesn't like what I was. He doesn't like what I was saying.
Thank you, Mr. Soul. Wonderful conversation tonight.
You want to hear from me on that one?
No, I don't want to hear from you on that one.
Well,
Thank you. I'll come to you. Let me go to rescue. Let me go to rescue and sweeten this pie a little bit. Rescue, thank you for joining us. I'll be coming to CSA here very shortly. But Rescue, let's hear from you. What's on your plate this evening? Thank you for joining us, sir. That will be Terrence Collin, of course, folks.
Oh yeah, I'm enjoying you guys talking about the issues around the country and all the kind of thing. I think there are a lot to be discussed, and yeah, as you guys are on, but I think I have a different view in regards to the government people on the radio, and they having their own program. Like I said the other time on one show, there have been no book written that says the government can do what they're doing. In my opinion, the situation that going on social media right now is a convoluted one. Liberians are new to the media, and the media is sucking majority of our people. So such a time, such a condition, from my perspective.
When you say sucking, do you mean sucking their intellectually or sucking
any information? The people gravitate more to social media than they will gravitate to Mika, or they will gravitate to what they're doing on LBS, like what my senior brother sister was saying, that they kick them out. So people more into show on Facebook because Facebook reach you directly on your phone to you. It comes to you, right? As compared to Mika, you got to go find it. Journalists and all the kind of thing. But when you're doing a show like this, you reach the people.
Mr. Soul, the rescue is on the floor, please. Go ahead.
So, yeah, but actually, that is it. So the timing is very good because you can't continue what the seditious want for Standard Waterspoon them to keep telling us, blowing the media with bad information. For example, you said that the Supreme Court, the president called Supreme Court justice when that case was on Fanatic Kofa. He said the president called them and they wanted to bribe them. Then you expect the government to sit down and let this propaganda filter in. Let me just so alluded to. Seditious failed to address these issues simultaneously according to the wave. Thereby, they fall victim by 20,000 votes and incumbent because they did not utilize the power of the media. When only one man, one single man, Costa, challenged the whole entire media in the country, none of them couldn't shake. Today, Joseph Boga is president because of the same media. Then you expect for the government people to sit down and watch Tenton, who helped them win. to fluctuate the media with bad information and just let it go because government official not supposed to be on Facebook. For me, I got
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's not
Thank
what,
you.
that's not what I said, though.
But Mr. So he's entitled to his opinion. Let me go to Sissy. Sissy Goya, I'll be coming to you now. Go to Robert here, then we'll open the line. Mr. Zanko, please. I'm sorry. And then we'll open the line. Mr. Goya, quite recently, I have a 15, soon to be 16-year-old son here. For the entire week, he's been pressuring me. Why is it, he says, that Liberia, because I show him the city of Monterey. You know, you can go on Google Earth now and do a street view of the city of Monterey, many places in Monterey. So I showed him, he was like, why is it Monterey cannot be like Sacramento? And I explained to him because of corruption and because most people have no interest. Anyway, the main thing he was saying is, if these people are stealing, like you're saying, why can't you guys negotiate with them to say you how much you want to steal? They say, okay, it's okay. We collect the money, give it to you. You go your way. Don't come by here if you can't steal. So why can't we do it that way? And I was thinking to myself, President Bakai, come and you have a good advisor. Pay these people off so they don't continue to corrupt the system. But on a very serious note, that's the 15, 16-year-old talking like that. But on a very serious note, Sissy, Terry is saying that we cannot, and the government people should not just wait until you have another media institution to destroy the government standing, just like they did with CDC, and CDC was unable to respond. And he's saying because of that, the government should be able to utilize any platform that is available to them that they are listening to, because they cannot wait for ELBC and so that the people would turn dial and stuff like that. But since Facebook is available everywhere in Liberia, let them utilize that. Do you have any quarrel with that at all, or you want to add on it?
No, I think I agree with Terry to the point that I don't think I think he kind of a little bit tinted what we were trying to say. I agree, Terry, that the government needs to utilize all and every available media platform to it in order to lay the facts. Because misinformation, disinformation can be very, very much destabilizing. You're right. I get it. And then Mr. Toad, they don't have to sit there wait for people to turn the dial and hold the antenna small and see if you get signal, you turn it left, you turn it right. No, we're not saying that. What we are saying is that there's a budget for an entity. ELBC has a Facebook platform too, Mr. Collins. When we used to be on ELBC, it was published on their Facebook platform. So they have the same kind of platform that the closing opening argument, the COPA, spoon, and the third grade, fifth grade class reloaded have. Why not draw traffic to you? Right? I don't mind the Minister of Education, Minister of Information, Minister of Justice is appearing there to clarify things. I don't mind that. I'm saying that when people become housed there, and then government folks are using their time of day to advertise that instead of advertising their own place. Now, here's the thing that people don't understand. I hope people get it. Spoon is monetized. The closing argument is monetized. I don't know if they have managed to monetize yet the class reloaded. There's money going over there. So what if the government was drawing people, instead of sending people to their own Facebook platform show, inviting people, that would be a way for Eugene Fago to even monetize that and get some money. So we're just saying, think outside of the box. You have a budget for an entity, use it for that. But right before I shut down, I want to throw one more thing so the Honorable Pope can pray over it when he comes back and when it's his turn, Pope Collins, the fifth. Songo, we're just
Your father the year for 6 years. Your income that one. I mean,
and so my brother Songo, you know, we're just talking about how people don't respect us in the diaspora. They don't think us important except for our pocket. So there is a national conference for diaspora Liberians that's supposed to be taking place.
When? That's the point.
Who have they reached out to in the diaspora? So I went to their website.
Who's organizing it?
The office of the diaspora affairs. Hold on, the office of diaspora affairs that is housed in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is the one in charge of that. And they're going through your embassy here. But here is their website address: diasporaaffairs.net. Not .gov, not .ara. They're not using a government extension. They're using .net. They are housed in the foreign ministry. So let me give you one point. They talk about how they will interact with Liberians in the diaspora, right? I'm going to go on scholarship. It says education is a critical area for development, and the diaspora office aims to work with the Ministry of Education to expand educational opportunities for disadvantaged youth. This partnership will establish a scholarship fund to support students of low-income families. You understand that, right?
They don't come back with scholarship.
Hold on. Then they go to how they will fund that scholarship fund. They will encourage diaspora community to contribute to the scholarship fund through donations. So the only thing we know how to do, we better to donate. Yeah. Right? And this is this is, by the way, under the strategic diaspora initiative plan 2024-2027. We're already in 2025, but they still trying to engage us. But the only way they want us to engage is to give them money. And they are planning on hosting a diaspora engagement in DC. I get an email forwarded to me, like a mass email, oh, we're going to host this. Can you give us 3 critical questions, 3 critical concerns that you want us to discuss? So every Liberian in the United States saying 3 critical questions, and you're saying I discuss it, they'll go back home. When we talk about people learning, when you know better, you should do better. Yes, George, we already didn't do this, we get it. But we know better. This government knows better, it should do better. Those are some of the pieces that frustrate me. So-called, Terry, I know the point you're making, but why some of us get frustrated is that these people are supposed to know better, right? You can go on Class Reload and you can challenge the spoon and their propaganda there where I get it. You're supposed to do that. That's a fact. That's a given. But can you drive traffic to the National Broadcasting Network? Can you drive traffic to yourself instead of driving traffic away from you?
Thank you. Let me go to Mr. Zango. Mr. Zango, what Sissy just spoke about is no strange stuff for you. We will put a number up. The number is not up yet, so just give me a minute, please, guys. You were once higher up with the Liberty Party, and they've seen thing here where when they want money from us here, but instead of making decisions, they say Liberty Party will make a critical decision because we're on the ground. So it's the same thing that's happening here.
Well,
But let me let me let me hear from you. Let me hear from you on this here. I'm not too sure Liberty Party have changed. Maybe they have, but back then that's what.
I've been away from them for a few years.
Yeah, but let's hear from you.
What I really
contribution?
want to do, and I think you asked a very good question on Mr. So I want to address that issue. Liberia historically has been a one major employer country, the government of the Republic of Liberia. From the time we all were children, we know that. There were words that came out of Liberia, so say one, so say why. All. We all know that, right? Has that changed in terms of its application? No. So why people surprised that ELBC or EL, whatever they call themselves now, doing the kind of things they're doing? For me, those are Trump's issue. All right. Let's look at it. Let's look at the region. Why is Ghana prospering? Why is Ivory Coast prospering? You go into these countries, their youth, their young people are innovative. They are moving. They are the one driving the economy of the country. You got multi-millionaires in those countries. Why? Why we still looking for people one run into room 1072 or whatever the room number is to say put my own on top of the budget. Why? The reason is, and I like to bring solution, not criticize. Criticism has its place, right? But at the end of the day, the solution is power, electricity. No country can survive, no country can prosper, no country can go to the next level without constant good electricity. How is that being addressed in Liberia? We got the line that coming down from Ivory Coast, right? Do you know? Have you heard of a company called Jungle Power? Any of you guys have?
I think a little bit.
Jungle Power is a power distributor that started off in Nima County, and they got contract to supply power all the way down to Pond County. Guess who is a major host stakeholder in that company? Your vice president. So everybody who buying power from Jungle Power, they put it, they pat in his pocket. Think about that. How many Liberians, how many young people, and somebody mentioned they attached to their phones. How many young people have the ability to innovate, to create in Liberia? A lot of them. But do they have the mechanism to do that? Do they have the opportunity to do that? So all of these things that people talk about, you like to say something, tapata. All of these things that people talk, Nigerian content I fucked up. All of these things that people are doing, Samson, is for nothing. If the government is not prepared to invest in power to electrify the entire country in a way that our educational people can take advantage of it, that our hospitals will be run all the time. Electricity is power. It brings everything. It brings development to the country for being heaven's sake, man. If the government does nothing else, if this president leave office tomorrow, and let his legacy be that he electrified the country, let it be that, and then watch the youth create. When we left Liberia in the 80s, there was no such thing as the internet. When I returned to Liberia for the first time in 2005, rap music was everything over here. Rap music wasn't in Liberia. And I told a friend of mine, my friend was teasing me, named Amadougle. He was teasing my man, that thing you'll be talking about your mama, your papa, your daddy, that thing, I don't like it. I said, Dougle, that the thing not coming here. How many people, young people in Liberia today, got their phones running around? You call them and say, well, I got data. They used to talk about data back in the day. All of that is the result of some countries somewhere having power where the young people could innovate, could create. Liberia have those. We have smart people in the country, smart young children in the country, but we not provide them the opportunity. Let the government invest its time and its money in just this one thing primarily. There are many other things, but watch what happens as a result of that. We have a lot of millionaires, and what happens when you have a lot of millionaires or a lot of people making money and not caring much about all of these things that government have to do? Is that the man will want to be more interested in finding a way that they can use the electricity to make money for themselves, to take care of themselves, take care of their family, and not have to go run to some senator or some representative too and sit down all day and say, Papa, please help me, please give me small money.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, folks, let me go ahead and open the line. This is Samson Toe, Labrador Public Radio, of course. I'm here tonight with the CEO, Mr. So is here. Mr. Collins, the Rescue 2 is here. Cecil Goyer is here, senior analyst and the mathematician of all time is here as well. And we have with us Mr. Robert Ezango is also here, a senior analyst, and the man that very calm and make sure things are taken care of here. So we'll welcome all of you again tonight. Thank you very much. Let me listen to you. Who's this? Who calling? What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, Mr. Tour. This is Walton Keller. I've been trying to come on. Mr. Tour send me the link. Mr. Soul send me the link, but it was just half from it's not even catching. It's not
The
going through.
cartel is sitting. So Mr. Toe is sitting on his cartel tonight. So
And I
just know
understand
that.
that.
Okay. What's what?
And I
Okay.
understand that it's all right. I will not come to post saying you're Gary.
Oh,
I was just coming to talk to the issue. So you have no business sitting on your couch tail, but that's all right.
okay.
We'll still speak. I would like to address what Sissy said, and then two things on the show. My brother Sissy spoke about the diaspora engagement that the government of Liberia is trying to undertake in the diaspora here in America, to be precise. And he asked a question: who are the diaspora you're talking about? Right? We got a mother organization in this country, and we spoke about it in our meeting. I think it's unfair when the Liberian government coming to address the Liberians. There's a there's a big organization here called YOLA. At least send the information to Liberian embassy. Liberian embassy channel it through YOLA, and then YOLA will give the information or inform the Liberians in the diaspora which state the government is about to have this program, so that they can mobilize the people to go there and support the effort and hear what we have to say and what they have to tell us. But you got somebody who the government designated from Liberia to come be the middleman between the diaspora and the Liberian government. And I will call the person name on the show, and because this person was former president of Yola before, the UC and this man disregarding even the very Yola he was president of, not to even go through the senior Yola channel, but to organize his own diaspora conversation around here. And that's the reason why we have disconnect in the whole thing. So we don't know the state they're gonna have it in. We don't know the scope that they're gonna have this stuff. So it's just so unfortunate that this government, with even some of the people that serve in the diaspora as leader, will not even follow the chain of command or the system that we have here in our diaspora structure. Secondly, Sisse was kind of emotional yesterday, very emotional when he spoke about how our leaders come here and solicit our support. But when such a thing happen in our society here, they play a blind ear. This is my brother, news flash. This is not strange to us. Even the very Liberians that are outside of America. Take for example, when the Ukraine war broke out in Ukraine, Russian war broke out in Ukraine, Liberians that were on scholarship there. That Spoon TV, the trainer got to call Spoon to give the information Liberian government are not concerned on then President we are. The same thing happened with President Boakai. The people are not concerned about us. The only one when they can get from us what they need, even the very electors in the country, they go to these slum communities and talk to the people to vote them in office. And by the time the people get in that vote, they kick you to the back. You remember, there's a saying, you look at our seal, and I think we should change our seal. The shovel, the wheelbarrow, and all the things. Somebody made an expression one time about that. The people were saying, why the executive mansion do not look after the poor people? And there was a common saying, I think everybody on the platform knows that. They said the broom, the shovel, the rake, the wheelbarrow that built the executive mansion, no more back there. Meaning, who brought us to office, we don't recognize it anymore. It is about us who in office to enrich ourselves. And it's about time that on this platform, people that give their support to individuals as leaders should look at those people now to be people that will hold responsible to deliver on their promises. The things they say they will do for us. We shouldn't follow sentiment to be so much, engulfed with them that even when they're doing the wrong thing, we still got to put up a defense in favor of them. Because we enable them to continue exploit us repeatedly.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let me address that caller, Samson.
Okay, let's see. Okay, let's okay, but just bear in mind that any other color count will go straight to the color. Go ahead.
3 points. All right. My question to that person is: how many Liberian organizations are ULA? How many Liberian local organizations ULA is aware of in the United States? None. ULA is ineffective. ULA is ineffective. The second thing is, is the MLC in contact with any of the local organizations? They said in Washington, D.C., do they know about about LHGH in Houston? Do they know about the organization in Southern California? Do they know about the organization in Northern California? Are they engaged with them? Go and get that. Go get out. I'll go to the last question.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Finish. He's
And the
calling.
last question, the last point is not a question, but the old way of communicating to the Liberians in the United States don't work. The whole idea of going through EULA because EULA is the mother organization, please, man. A lot of organizations in the country don't subscribe to EULA. So they need to find a new way to deal with the new leadership and new organization structures that Liberians have in the US.
Thank you. Okay, folks, the number is open. Whenever you call, we will hold our speaker. Go ahead, Mr. So.
Yeah, I think that was a very good strategy on the part of the government. People got to learn to do new things. The problem is the chain of communication. And like I told Cece, the very Erasmus, when he wanted to even be the bull, or me, I'm going to call it no secret, he's a public figure now. When he wanted to be board chair, every day there was a signal up here, even when he was contesting. When he got that position, I reached out multiple times because I see it as a different approach, maybe to coordinate and do stuff and things like that. All the emergency, I said, the one calling at 1:3 a.m. in the morning before you call, and you know this and that. Even when the president came here, I met him. He knows her very well. That was a good thing, but this is how people just get drunk when they give them responsibility. It's a very effective thing. That's something he could use, all of these networks, and see and build up something. Or maybe with his authority, decentralize this whole committee, the South, the East, and find some coordinators or find people to coordinate with network and have this sort of conversation. It's a very good thing. And I agree. EULA, that's what happens when you have these organizations more or less are not focusing on the social services of its member. They're not even helping people, members that are here dying, drowning. They're not even helping them. They want to help somebody in the place here. You have some old folks here who have even issue with citizenship, doing their paper, going for appointments. You don't have a social service arm that will address the needs of the people who potentially could be a good contributor, but then you're sending it way across the bridge. So as a result, that's why you see everybody, 2-3 people together, they form their own. Myself coming from my independent EULA association.
That's right. EULA is ineffective in this.
Can I say something about EULA? Because I've been involved with EULA.
Yes, I was expecting that because I you're still involved with EULA.
I am still, because my organization, my local Liberian organization in Minnesota, the largest Liberian organization in the diaspora, the one with the most financial resource in the diaspora, is still a member of EULA, and I'm the vice chair of that. I think a lot of people don't understand why how EULA operates and why it operates the way it is. EULA does have a social service arm that is a 501c3. They have not been able to raise money. That is their own problem, but they do have a social service arm. Now, if we argue that EULA is ineffective, if we take that as a given, fine. But
just hold on 1 minute. Let's just land and then we'll come to you.
Pick operatives of EULA's dysfunction, like Emmanuel Wetty, because I need him, anyone to call, and you put them in charge. You pick LCA DFW. So the Liberian community, LCA DC, they are a part of EULA. You pick that local organization instead to go through. That is a part of EULA. So you can't be saying that EULA is dysfunctional and not do a EULA, but you're dealing with people like they have somebody there called the chief of staff, that Ato Wiado. Ato Wiado was the longest serving Secretary General of EULA. So you pick the scraps. And then you say the organization is dysfunctional. I would have seen if they pick a whole new breed of people. You say, okay, we don't want to go through EULA. Maybe that argument, I will go with it. But you can't go pick scraps from the place and then the argument be that because EULA is dysfunctional, right? And here is the part. The people who are supposed to be very functional, because EULA is dysfunctional, are sending out these scanned emails. I don't know if you received one, Mr. Azongo. I don't know if you received one, any of you on this platform, but I got an email.
I don't know them.
You take the Samson They sent me an email asking me to send them 3, and almost like the Doge thing, where Elon Musk asking people to write 5 Doge, government improvement. You must send an email. So they send me the same email. So if you were to receive, is that even logically smart people together? Is that how you collect feedback? Does that make sense? And then you go on their website and ask you to register and sign up, and they're asking for degrees and all kinds of things. Go to diaspora fund. They say they ain't ready yet. They'll come back. So is that the thing that's supposed to be different than EULA? That is for me. That's my confusion.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
Let me take this.
let me ask you a question. If you are not in the position
Rob,
you're in, something, if you are not in the position you're in, you think you know will reach out to you?
okay,
Oh,
guys, let me please.
Yeah,
let me take this. Let me
Thank you.
take this caller. Let me take this caller, guys. Go ahead.
But it was not you that reached out. It was this group.
Guys, let me take this caller, please.
Get a
Go ahead.
caller.
Go ahead, call us. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where you're calling from? What's on your mind?
Right. This is Judo here.
Okay.
From Virginia. Can you try to see you? I call him. Nobody let him pick up. So I just wanted to
What's
make
that?
that play. But let's get back. I was trying to.
What did you say? You said you tried calling earlier?
No, I said I called the CEO, but he never called me back on Saturday.
Oh, sorry
Okay,
about that.
no more.
Yeah.
No man.
But I saw it down here. I saw your text.
Okay.
All right, he heard
saw-
you. Yeah,
But he called
saw
me.
your
We'll talk behind the scene.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say was, the CEO asking a question. Asking if Liberians are the problem or the government is the problem when he was elaborating. But the problem, I said this thing on your show 1,000 times. The people in Liberia are the problem. Look, because so we made a big mistake in our history. The people that fought in the war, we allowed them to take power. They can continue to hurt us. People taking it for a joke. While going to 20 years, they continue to hurt us. These people are in power only there to loot and steal. You think somebody going to stay in the bush for 50 years to fight war, then they will come and say they're doing what? They are there to loot. And the problem with the people in the country, when these people leave power, they expect the government to go after them. The government do not go after them because they're all in the same boat. So the Liberian people too, they just leave it alone. If you continue to leave things alone, it will continue to happen. And then what happened? They see politicians who lose election, they wait another 6 years, and then they run for another election. Why? They think they store the city right in the country, enjoying it. Then the people suffering, then they wait 6 years, then they fool the people, then they go back into power to steal more. Then the Liberian people just sit and don't do nothing about it. These people are the people who just there. They just there to spare. Oh yeah, the man are being shot. Oh yeah, the man are that former senator. You say all these Google things, but how is they helping you? They man stole a lot of money. He said it right in the country. Most countries, when government officials steal, the people chase them out. They don't come back in that country. They go into exile with their family. They don't come back. But in Liberia, when the people steal, they stay right in the country, enjoy the money. Then that's what I said in there. One war, spend 12 years in power, enjoy herself. She said it right there. Who investigating? Who talking? Not Liberian people talking. But what all the former president, then they run in there to go set up real president. Then when she finished, she go, you had to see, you have a government and Tabata there, and then they paying her. If you really investigate, they paying that woman under the table. The particular government is paying that woman under the table. And then Liberian people just embrace it. If you continue to embrace this thing, nothing going to change in Liberia.
So, my brother, what's the solution?
Thank you.
You a lot of complaint. What is the solution?
He can hear you. Thank you. Okay, guys, we will start closing up. Let me take the number up.
I think somebody on the phone here. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Huh?
Yes, I'm here.
Hola, Keto?
Yes. I just wanted to address Mr. Azango, and I think the Libra was ignoring my call, and he forgot to know I'm one of the analysts going to be on the show. Mr.
Show yourself.
Wilton Kettle.
Okay.
Go ahead. You heard it loud and clear, Mr. Libra. So this is the thing. I don't know if Mr. Azango is a resident of the United States, and if he is, we have never seen Mr. Azango to one Yola function. So you cannot come on the show and say things about Yola that, I mean, you have now been part of the organization. You got prominent Liberians here that don't even identify with this organization. A lot of them here. Now, Yola was responsible to advocate for our green card and citizenship of Liberians that never had it. It came when I was president of our community, they sent that information to us. time immemorial, we call on our people to go and get the document straightened up. When the time expires, Yola advocate again for them to extend it. They extended the time. Some Liberians refuse to even get their own paper straightened in this ethnic country. Yola were also instrumental in pushing for dual citizenship. I was not even president when our country people, when they asked Emmanuel Wati to head that committee. The very person he talked about Emmanuel Wati, and today Emmanuel Wati, and the former Yola president called or Keseli, Anthony Keseli, are the ones that heading up that diaspora thing that they have here. All I'm saying here to all Liberians, and including Mr. Azanko, we got a model organization here called Yola, and Yola got connection to almost all of the other tribal organizations in this country. All you got to do is to channel this thing through the embassy, let the embassy channel through Yola so Yola can get the information out to everybody, and we start to mobilize because this thing is diaspora. Like in America.
Thank you. Thank you.
Continue to undermine ourselves until we're going to be positive.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you very much.
Samson, let me address that, man, please.
Yeah, but that will be up. Let's come to you.
You can my closing, my man. Just call my name. Let me.
Yeah, no, but without that, I don't call house here.
Let me address the man.
You will address him, Mr.
Man, you always told me I'm quiet now. I've been quiet now. Let me address the man. Give me 5 minutes.
Wait.
Don't let me allow towers be on your show. Like, give me 5 minutes.
No, hold on. I know you heard what he said. Let's come to you.
I know. You want my pedigree? You want to get a history for you?
We'll come to you.
You want me to call Neil Joseph Jimmy Bagas Mafia all the guy from way back?
No.
Please,
we'll come to you. Let's go to Mr. Zanko, we'll come to you. Let's go to Terry. Terry, give us your closing. We're completely out of time. And Mr. CEO most likely will go over this by maybe 5 minutes at most. Let's hear from you, Terry. Give us your closing.
Yeah.
Mr. Zanko, you will address that when we come to you, please.
I'm looking at something here that says attempting to bribe witness, and all those kind of things. These are the reasons why the people having their own podcast now, even though it looked like the people are becoming unpopular. But front page magazine, can you imagine? Just cut and paste from what Spoon TV had on. They posted the next morning reading for people in the news will be attempting to bribe witnesses. They have not investigated from on the other side to, cross-examine their facts and all of that. Oh, you took up Mr. Azango?
No.
Cross-examine their facts and all the kind of thing. Nothing as they can. They just jump and they expect the people to believe this story, the narrative. So you see, and one I think we got to understand that in communication, you got to honor, even though I didn't do communication, but I talk with people a lot of times. You have to understand where the people are and you have to reach them to where they are. I agree. People listen to radio. People listen to all different things, but there are certain group of people that are on Facebook and they are in huge quantity. And if Stanton can pull that much number on Facebook, the government too will understand that we need to reach these people that he's reaching. So we have to reach them. Lastly, my concern is June with the president. My concern is June to the aspect of the president making an assertion that ArcelorMittal or ArcelorMittal, I don't know, that they are doing well. I thought that was not a good position of the president because what they're building there, I don't know, it's called the contractor or what, some kind of stuff they're building there that costs for $1.something billion. That particular plant they're building, from what I learned, that thing is going to make ArcelorMittal more richer because they have been collecting fewer mineral because of the dite, the black sand that have been mixed up because they didn't have the equipment or the technology to do that. But the technology that they're building now is going to get rid of all the dite and only pick up the mineral. So that means that tonnage, the mineral they will be extracting from our country in export will be more than what they have been extracting over the years. and there is no trickle-down effect on the people. And our president is saying that Asida Meta have been doing very, very well. In fact, he said it's an honor statement. So I was very disappointed in that, because I believe people are supposed to have briefed the president in regards to all these shenanigans that going on, because that particular processing plant is not producing. I think they talk about producing small things, but it is not going to have a real trickle-down effect on the Liberian people, especially on the Liberian populace that are out of jobs. So I think that the president needs to pay attention to these things, because there are major things that could change the trajectory of our economy. Thank you.
Are we closing? I can't hear you.
You're talking to himself.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm muted. Sister, let's hear from you. Thank you. Rescue 2, thank you. Sister, let's hear from you.
Yeah, I don't know between Rescue 2 and the Rescue Leader, which one, and then I gotta use my uncle Jefferson Koji terminology on which one of you like the wit and the intellectual calisthenics to talk about Saddam Hussein.
I don't want last week. The Buganeris. What the message?
Buga Nazarari.
When you were talking right now, I thought that was a contradiction. You guys are just a bunch of what we call white jogos and political tabula rasas and Buganeris.
Thank you. Mr. Zango, let's hear you, and then the CEO will take us home on this.
Okay. All right. Look, let me just address that, gentlemen. I apologize, gentlemen. I will have an internet problem. Here's the situation. EULA has been around for many, many years. From some of our children, we've heard of EULA. EULA was most effective when Liberians were primarily concentrated in one of the several states on the East Coast, from Boston, Massachusetts, down to DC, right, in that general area. Liberians have spread out. Liberians have different interests. Like there are a lot more Liberians here since the war, and then Liberians who were here prior to the war. Those who were the originators of EULA and who can go way back and try to call names, they had a different method of connecting with their base. Their base is their power. EULA through the years has not been effective. How do I know? I know because you're looking at a former president of the Liberian Association of Southern California. You're looking at a former vice chairman of Liberty Party for Operation. I've been in this political sphere for a while. I'm not one of those who go and beat my drum. There you go. I'm not one of those who beat my drum. But the corner needs to
sound like a guru. You do sound like a guru.
The corner needs to understand that when some of us speak, we know from whence we come. And I'm saying to that corner, EULA needs to be effective. EULA
start calling him Colloy. Remember, we have 5 people in Southern California. So
EULA recently, I understand, try to get the people from California to join the organization. There's a split out there. People don't really care because EULA has not been, maybe they're being a repository of information from the embassy, but in terms of trickling that information down, maybe they have internal problems, and nobody have time for those kind of things. So if you're not effective in getting to the Liberians that are beyond the East Coast, my brother, what do you have? You know, some people have used EULA as a stepping stone to get jobs in Liberia. Not all of us looking for government jobs in Liberia. So people are looking at EULA different. I got my friend in California tell me, say, I know that piece, or now that piece, so you just barely me alone. But, you know, yes, the situation. So the caller needs to understand that EULA has its place, and EULA will continue to lose relevance if EULA does not decide how she's going to engage the wider audience. Let me come to the other side. Liberia, the government of Liberia needs to find a way to invest in electricity. that would give the population of Liberia a lot of latitude, a lot of leeway to stop being primarily dependent on government. We had a situation in the last 15 or so years where politicians will run to the population and give them cash because they know the people are so hungry, right? And that cash inducement is to get them to vote for them. It was effective for a while, but we found out in the last election, even that has its limitations. So there are a lot of things that we talk about. There are a lot of things that we could talk about. I'm just a little disappointed we didn't have the chance to talk about this gentleman who was brought into the countries recently and who the government is trying to use as one of its witnesses against the representative. But hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about that again
Thank,
on
thank
Thursday.
you, thank you, thank you, Mr. So, CEO. Take us home, please.
Well, I think it's a great conversation. Talking about, having these outlets. Yes, every government, they have their own uh, surrogates who in the backyard to do the dirty work. And those kind of people, they are deployed with, they don't go distant, they go right there to the bone to do it. And that's what we are saying. We are saying these institutions should uh, be more effective. But I'm so kind of really disappointed today because we need to also tell our audience, and it's the same sort of failed system from day one in the country. You pay for services and you can't get it. You got to call senior director or some kind of commissioner or some kind of manager who really you don't need to call them uh, before things can get done. For God's sake, if we want to change our BA phone or internet service, all you need to do is just talk to customers, whatever things that involve, you do it, you set up your payment. And then the worst of it, for technicians to go on the ground to say, yes, you'll get into A. Then you get into A. And nothing comes. In fact, they make you to buy materials. And this is a problem we're in. We have to tell our audience while we're waiting to kind of give us, but that's not going to deter us. I just want to shoot this short video, and it has to do with our network that we all have worked so hard, so excited to go there. Over 2 weeks, the telco, believe TA have to call them to the extent that people got to reach out to a commissioner in order to call technician, hey, you need to do this. Then they may have to buy the iron pole then. And more than, I don't know which cable network gonna be here, but let me just show you this here. After doing all of the thing here, only to come back to this, say, oh, no, we can't get network. Look at the iron pole here. This is something that we bought from telecom when they should even provide get the first one, you say, no, you add one more inch, you add another inch, you say, oh, you add another inch. And it did this only to come and tell us, look at how far that thing gone, just by vision you see it.
Remember your husband looking at?
No, that is studio.
Oh,
that's
okay.
that's an LPR studio.
Oh,
They
okay.
want we not fee. The telco, they went there, they not all the iron will not buy it, only to come tell us no network when they have gone there to do the assessment.
Power.
They already got him paid.
And so, I mean, these are very, very, very bad systems. And the worst of all, there are people in charge. These are people that make the institution into be so bad. Before they move, you got everything you do, you got to bribe people. I mean, it's how can we have a society? This is just like, you know what? I would just forget about it. That's the kind of situation they want us to do, and then that way they have their way. But that's not going to deter us, you know. Honestly, it just kind of like to do my day, but we have other options we'll try to explore. We're not going to allow people to waking up. We'll stand it, and we'll find a way. You know, we'll put our poles down and find somewhere. has to do it. So yesterday when the president, as a matter of fact, when they say president suspend LT, I say, yeah, my Lord has done this for me because you finish taking. Yeah, that way he can make for the same God song. Yeah, I mean, this are the kind of thing. All of these things come from the top.
Yeah, Pope Collins, the faith were praying for that man to get suspended.
That one part I sang a little short, just 30 seconds song. That one is God. I just want to be on it because I was really mad. I was really mad. But anyway, we are still finding other means to do what we can do. Liberal, thank you.
Let him
Mr.
for the father of the year.
Don't go. This is, you seeing your guy here. This is a problem I deal with all along. He brought this political revving, who is part of his choir that are doing everything is okay, But we're here. We will not allow them to go. We'll put them in.
Thank you very much.
So I never ate some of that cow. That cow that went to Zvedju, I didn't eat some.
Man, you gotta put a thing, you gotta tell which one. The one that went for Kimba, the Peter cow or the Joseph Baga cow, because the Peter cow got the 3 times. That happened.
I saw one cow under the fan. That one I'm talking about.
The other one was shooting where he had a bulletproof. The cow has the game.
The picture, other person one day say, well, the cow is finally asking you ongoing depression, rejection. Then they ask you, we are in white suit, and then so a doctor to go get the cow ask.
That country gets serious problem.
But it's the thing, like, back to this thing what Mr. Zango was saying though. Our government officials got involved in our rejection nonsense. We're putting on people, they all putting it on the memes.
Sure.
But they can't put one memes about what happened to oil because that nonsense, it doesn't require a brain power. It's just not impose your own. Oh, the cow got rejected today. Oh, cow chronicles, return of the cows, the cow transporters.
I say that.
No, the one the information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But anyways, it's back. It's good to be back. I'm going to be as available now as possible. I'm in a better stabilized condition.
Tabula rasa.
It's a contradiction.
Gentlemen, if you don't mind, give me a few seconds. Let me say something. When I join a group, I like to see progress. And my hope for us in this group is that we will continue to see our numbers grow. That's my objective. I think I said this yesterday. And I think we all can work in unison to make sure we do that. We'll ask the public to subscribe, to like our page, encourages. As I'm talking to you guys, Erin, I know if you guys see me smiling every now and then, I got people sharing back and forth. Yesterday, I was surprised. I got calls from Liberia while I was on live. So the word is getting up of what we're doing. And something, how many views we had yesterday? About 550 or so.
Yes, like today too. Yeah, 5 something.
So our numbers seem to be growing. We need to all come up with a more creative way on presenting the show. And as I said, we need to be an alternative to the big boys for now. Looking at the numbers yesterday, were only 1,000. We there. We definitely can reach that, and we can surpass that. So, the local information with ULA, all that thing is good. For me, what I bring to the show is I've tried to bring an alternative view, a more realistic point of view to the show about this whole, whatever the topic may be.
Thank you.
It's one thing to beat the government up, and I'm not saying there will not be time to do that, but by the same token, we should also be able to give our audience solutions, as opposed to just criticism. Otherwise, we just like the other people looking for every time that corruption. Okay, so no corruption then. Now let's give concrete solutions, and maybe that can help everybody down the road.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Again, folks, we'll say good night to all of you here.
Something?
What?
They say, "Push you just sing." I say, "You heard it, Google."
You are not talking to me. You're talking to somebody else.
But you don't hold something. I'm not talking to you.
Mr. Zango on the show here. Let me just get here, man.
The
CEO might likely take you from the Liberal. The CEO might likely take you.
The CEO better yell, man. I hear the future, so you looking for somebody to replace him.
Many have tried.
Because you make what's happening. Now,
He's a very good communicator.
They say no
Watch out for it.
Schools are closed. So no more excuse. Your good night.
All right, good night, guys. This is it. Thank you. Good night. Yeah, you can just take yourself up. Yeah.
For you, you will see.
Okay, Mr. So, thank you again, folks. Samson told I probably went over about 15 minutes. But what Mr. Zanko was saying is something that we are going to have to work towards. We've been doing this thing here for a very long time. The only thing we're saying is that we have to be truthful to ourselves and be truthful to our audience as well. And I think we'll continue to do that. Under this leadership of Mr. So, I'm sure many of the things that we're going to achieve here will be great thing. Great thing. We honor his leadership. We have a studio in Liberia, even though the internet services over there is bad. That's not what they told us. They told him what he wanted to know, what they wanted to hear, and he went through. We got it placed. So now the internet service that they said they were going to provide for us is not there, but he's going to work on it, and eventually we'll have an internet service. So I want to thank him very much for his continued leadership in this area. We appreciate it. I'll say good night to all of you. And good night, folks. Let's meet here on Mr. Soul Show tomorrow, where we will be able to be here as well to have the conversation. Good night, folks. Samson to Labrador Radio.
Rachel de Kibo, je adé. Nous avons des gogo, nyaliwa, banyo, nyaliwa, korapam. Avec gogo, nyali. Avec gogo, nyali, Stéphane Soko. Nous avons des nana, amabile mera gogo, nyaliwa, Stéphane Soko, ya korapam. Aïe, gogo, nyaliwa. Amana very kasawa. America very titi kopa pa very sa. Seli peko chile peko. Ayo you get bayo. You see the kama. Sisi ni la play. Oya la gogo nyali. Are bayo e koro bravo. Hey gogo nyali. Awo. Taba sisi nyo wa o are na very ni paka. Taba sisi nyo wa o are na very ni. Why? Ale na you ya koro bravo. Abile gogo nyali. Yo so ma de jogure. Pamro ayo. Ade wa ba bere wa sawake. Wa ba be. Amba wa ma pa ni. Ni ama. Amba wa ma pa ni. Amba ra so lo gbe la ba yo. Abi na mi ka bere titi baba. Asa dubo